If Siete's not a veteran, I don't know who is. You can't get it on right by looking at it. There's a feel to it. Yeah. Uno momento, por favor. Siete. Siete is a veteran of a civil war. Here he sits in his yard and he watches. And we went down the back road the one day to see where all the cats are coming from. And there are like 7 cats that we saw. He's fighting these bastards off, pissing all over the fucking corners like a goddamn witch. He's on his 9th life. He's ready to move on to something better. Siete. I'll sleep in my eye in my time of dying. Siete and I were here together the last time. Shit. Siete? I'm sitting there trying to remember what the hell I was supposed to be talking about. Veterans Day. Cat. And that. Siete. What were we talking about? Oh, Siete always has the answers. He's talking about being in Iraq and getting letters from that staff sergeant so-and-so. And the other staff sergeant so-so making fun of him, and me seeing the letters he gets and how, here there's a guy over there in a war on the front, and his girls not even sent him a letter once. His aunt sends him letters, and once his girl's friend sent him a letter and said, yeah, we've been thinking about it, you and your wife, you and me, getting together when you get back from the war. And I'm sitting there thinking, you probably do not want to respond to that, because if this is the closest you've come to your wife while you're away at war and she's buying a brand new car and she's already banging everybody from door to door in the barracks, Siete doesn't want to hear it. He doesn't like talking bad about people. And I'm not talking bad, I'm using this as an example, Siete. Then, well, you're just a guy that's getting screwed around in a few different ways. It's the war. It's the idea that here, there were guys like me. I was alone. I'm probably the only guy that didn't have his house robbed while I was away, his wife banging everybody in town, or his wife just divorcing him completely and going home to her family, because I didn't have any such animal, according to First Sergeant. Lost his name. Every time I'd be sitting there watching CQ. I'm indoors, so I don't have my headgear on, but it makes it more believable, like I'm at work. You don't wear your headgear indoors. Yeah. First Sergeant McLean, would you accept a collect call from First Sergeant McLean's wife? And I'm like, I'm on duty, and I run out down to the First Sergeant officer. McLean was a Vietnam vet. That means he didn't care about too much stupid bullshit. He kept in mind with making the unit work and keeping the women out of his office. After McLean, we ran into first sergeants that had never been in combat and cared about starching your uniform, even though it screws up the light, blockage stuff, thermal readings and things like that. Our BDUs are designed to block that stuff, but if you put starch on it, it kills its fucking essential need. So you get guys from like that, they care about starching uniforms and looking good. Trying to change the 82nd from a fluff and buff, which meant you got your clothes out of the dryer, you fluffed them, you put them on, and you just buffed your shoes. You didn't have to do a damn spit shine every single day. You don't want to spit shine on your boots because of all these things they teach you in basic training: the shine, the movement, the shadows, the silhouettes, all that stuff. You don't want shine coming off your boots in combat. But they sit there and those people that don't know anything about combat, they want you to look good, even though they can't make a run. First Sergeant McLean was a cool dude. I went, First Sergeant McLean, your wife's on the line with a collect call. And he's like, pick up the phone and talk. Fuck that. He didn't even bother. He comes out and he says, no such animal. That's what he called the idea of a wife. He had women calling there saying they were his wife all the time. No such animal. That's an interesting way to look at it. And so you got somebody like McLean back there who's seen combat. He's not caring about going to war anymore. And he retires. And you get other jackasses who leave in the middle of it. First Sergeant Doring left without saying goodbye to anybody in the middle of the night. And I saw him leaving in the Humvee. He retired right there at the cusp of what could have been a war. He said, gotta go now. Michael C. Doring. I don't know why I can't find him on the internet. I've been meaning to get in contact with him. I'm sure he's dead. His PT scores were always atrocious. And so I think about all these things they have for Veterans Day, the magazine covers, the guy grabbing that chick in New York City and getting all over, and maybe he fucked her, but he might call it fucking, she might call it raping. Who knows what happened? I don't know. But what I think about is that those days on Armistice, it wasn't Armistice Day, it was when World War II was over. I fucked that up. Armistice Day was when they signed the Treaty of Peace and ended the war. It amounts to the same thing. This was World War II with that fucking Navy squid all over. And, what that says to me is this guy was on leave or found a Navy uniform in a thrift shop, or this is just some fucking, even if he's active duty, he's useless. He's down there in the middle of New York City when the war ends. They're in time to be going, fucking somebody's wife. Happy Veterans Day.